This boy didn't know about back on another video. Say, dog, what's going on with the Charlotte Hornets? Can somebody tell me what's going on with the Charlotte Hornets? LaMelo was getting benched on national TV against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got Concanupple having one of the better rookie years from a shooting perspective that we've seen in a minute. You got Brandon Miller. I don't know if he's good or not. He's good in theory, I guess, but I was just trying to come up with ideas on like where are they going in the future. And then I was like, who's even their best player? So y'all let me know in the comments who do y'all think is the best player on the Charlotte Hornets? Is it LaMelo? Is it Brandon Miller? Is it Con Canuple? Who would you choose to build around? But I just want to play with the idea just from a personnel perspective because they've been on a 3 game winning streak. It's their longest winning streak of the season. They just destroyed Philadelphia. And I thought that was actually an impressive win because I actually enjoy watching Philadelphia more when Embiid and Paul George don't play. So you had Maxey, VJ, and then you had like McCain, Quentin Grimes, in that group of young guys versus the young guys in Charlotte. And it wasn't even close. It was like from the gate, they was just getting they was just demolishing them dudes. Tyrese Maxey had looked horrible. And he actually hasn't been great in these past like 4 or 5 games or so. I'm gonna say like in a 7 game stretch, he's been kind of shooting bad. So I don't know what's going on with Tyrese Maxey. But the Charlotte Hornets, because this was the Brandon Miller game. The thing about Brandon Miller is you like 6'7", 6'8" wing. He done had a lot of highlight dunks. He got a Mamba-ish mentality when you look at him. He looks mean on the court. But when you dig a little deeper, the shots he takes versus the shots he makes, it's like, well, he leaves a little bit more to be desired. He gets injured a lot. The thing with Brandon Miller is he's averaging like 20 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. But the field goal percentage is pretty terrible. He's shooting like 41, 42% from the field, and he shoots like 41% for his career. He's in year 3 now. And I think the Brandon Miller question is very important, especially when it comes to the Hornets, because say dog, at this point, you should be able to comfortably say Brandon Miller is the best prospect on the Hornets. But you can't say that. You should have been able to say comfortably LaMelo Ball is the best player on the Hornets. Comfortably, but you can't say that. And now Con Canuple is approaching. So what this just means to me is I just find it fascinating as a Hornets observer because I've been a big fan of LaMelo since he was dropping 90 in high school. So I always thought he had special gifts when it came to just pure good at basketball. He's just purely been good at basketball. But now it's like LaMelo's in like year 6. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but LaMelo's in like year 6. And it seems like this is probably one of the worst seasons of his career in terms of stats and in terms of impact when you watch it. I don't know how I feel about Charles Lee and his effect on LaMelo because I think I don't know. I get it. You want LaMelo Ball to be more serious, but at the same time, you kind of got to Phil Jackson it. Let him play his game and like just kind of guide and steer him. You don't want to pull in the reins on LaMelo because that's what makes him special. His free flowing ability and his spontaneous creativity when it comes to his approach to basketball. Like his flair is a part of his game, and we've literally seen it since he was a kid. And you trying to rewrite that now at 24 years old, I don't know if that'll work out for Charles Lee. I do wish it was more serious when it came to his approach to basketball, but we've seen him hit big shots in the clutch. We've seen him create his own shot, create for others. You got to kind of just put him in an environment to where he could be the best version of himself. I don't know where the disconnect is between him and Charles Lee. But at the same time, I understand it. Like he seems like he plays too much. Even in that interview on ESPN, he cussed when he was with Lonzo in that interview. So it's like it is still some maturity stuff with him, but that's just Lamelo at this point. And rather trying to tone him down, it was just like just still put him in a better environment because you do got Con Knuckle who's serious. You do got Brandon Miller who is serious. And I did want to shout out the role players like Josh Green. I wanted to shout out Ryan Kalkbrenner. I wanted to shout out Grant Williams, all guys who came back, Colin Sexton. Because one thing people I don't think are noticing is this is one of the deepest teams in the league right now. They can legit go 11 deep. Like Trey Mann was playing garbage time minutes, and Trey Mann actually had some juice. Trey Mann would have been a starter in the early 2000s. But I'm just saying all this to say this. It's like, who do you build around? Because I talked about LaMelo, I talked about Brandon Miller, and now Con Knuckle. The interesting thing about Con Knuckle, he'd already been on Jimmy Fallon. He'd been on Bill Simmons' podcast a couple times. The thing that I question when it comes to Con Nipple is because I look at him and I'm like, the game is smooth. Like he can play make, he can shoot from all three levels, and he can do it efficiently. I think he's at like 19 points, and I think he's shooting like 48 from the field and like 40 from three, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not checking numbers. I'm just thinking from a personnel perspective because I like Con Nipple, but can he carry a franchise? That's the question. Do you think Con Knuckle can carry a franchise? Can he be the face of a franchise? And I don't necessarily think so because I don't even know how much I trust him as the second option. Let's go back to some of the Duke situation when he was playing with Cooper Flag. It was some of those big games where Con Knuckle left Cooper Flag hanging. I know you can say, man, that's college and this and that, but I don't know if a college second option is limited in terms of athleticism and agility. I don't know. I just don't know the ceiling on Concanopoulos as an NBA like scorer. I don't think he can be a one. I don't think he can be your best player. I think he's a third or a fourth option on a championship team. And isn't that the ultimate goal? Unless you just been losing in Charlotte so much, you just want to put together a winning team. And I wouldn't be mad at that either. Now, if you just want to like potentially try to keep these three guys together and potentially win 50 games, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. But I do think eventually you have to choose between one or two of them, and then you do have to choose who do you think is the best player after three. Me personally, if we just had to, I don't know. I don't know if I trust any of them. I think Con Canuck is probably the most reliable. Like he probably can't carry a franchise, but I trust him as a third guy. If that makes sense. I don't know if Brandon Miller could be a number one. I don't know if Brandon Miller could be a number two. He's just not efficient enough. He just don't hit enough shots. Like I think he's like a 35, 36 percent 3-point percent shooter in his career. I don't have the numbers in front of me, this is off the top of my head, but 42% from the field and about 36 from three for his career in year three. I don't know how good that is. Would Brandon Miller even go second overall again in a redraft? I think I would put Amin Thompson and Keontae George over him. So Brandon Miller has kind of disappointed me to a certain extent. I just thought he would have been a little bit more efficient, be able to finish at the rim a little bit more. I thought he'd be healthier. So I don't trust Brandon Miller as a one or two right now. LaMelo, I think pretty much everybody's kind of distanced themselves from thinking LaMelo can be a serious one or two on a championship team. But the Hornets are in a weird situation where they got three guys that I kind of don't feel like can be the guy. And I think they're deep enough, and I think they have enough to where they could be a confident team if they keep all these most of these guys together for the next couple years. But even if you just try to keep all three and just say, "Hey, we just go rock out with these three," I think none of them are two-way players. I don't look at Brandon Miller and say two-way player. He does have defensive moments, but he isn't consistently a great defender. Con Canuple, he's solid. LaMelo, not so much. So I think you're limited even from a defensive perspective if you got all three of them on the court. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. How do y'all feel about these three? How do y'all feel about the Hornets? Which direction should the Hornets go in? Who would you pick as the face of the franchise of the Hornets right now? Do they even got their franchise guy? What should the Hornets do? Y'all let me know. Follow me on X, Twitter. It's gonna be on the screen here. Let's talk basketball. But this your boy D Ball. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gone.
Found some shit I love to do, so I can live comfortable. Searching for a peace of mind, need that when it's time to rhyme. Perfect in every line, any chance I get, and I know it takes time, but I will never quit.